Welcome to the absolute most amazing episode of Notice Me Senpai that has and will ever exist. Yes, I know it's only the second episode, but that won't stop the hype train. Choo-choo! And as our guest of honor is none other than... Oh, for fuck's sake, this guy.
What? Why are you gonna do me like that? Why are you gonna,
Well,
you got that, now you just ruined the hype. Like,
I mean...
That's the point.
Jeez.
Welcome, Xeno, to the hype dread episode of
Wow.
Notice Me Senpai.
Wow. Fucking wow. Notice how that derailed, you know?
Well,
Choo-choo.
I can blame the
trailer.
hype train conductor Xeno. Speaking of the hype train conductor, what quality do you think will make the most questionable waifu of 2022?
What quality will make the most questionable waifu? So I don't know if you're aware, there's a series that's currently airing in what's it called, winter of 2022 called World's End Harem. They found a new way to do censorship because otherwise they'd just be blacking out the majority of the screen, and it's very interesting. The professional nurse gets a minor drunk while just after stepping out of the shower. That's a very questionable quality for a potential waifu. In fact, just
Objection? Is that really questionable by anime standards?
questionable by law standards. Like,
True.
You know, she's supposed to be a nurse. And she's getting her patients drunk. I mean, I'd like to see the hospital that you go to that's like, you know, drinking is not only permitted but encouraged.
You're asking me, my hospital,
no.
that encourages that.
Okay. Wait, do you say you run your own hospital?
For tax purposes, I don't.
It's more of a bar than a hospital, but, you know, tomato.
I mean, like, people come there to feel better. It doesn't really matter. Like, both kind of function the same way.
Does it actually have the name hospital at the top? Like, you know, as you go to the entrance of the bar, it's just hospital. Huh, this seems like a legitimate establishment. Nothing
Emergency
questionable there.
care.
I mean, it has ambulances coming in and out, but still, that doesn't really clarify it.
Just the wrong way.
It's my side business as the ambulance.
That's the real business.
Wait. Do you also have ambulance chasers? Is that your side business where you got lawyers? Yeah. I see. It's like, you know, giant hustle going on here. Yep. There we go.
Mera?
What's a book or live-action film franchise that you would personally be really hyped about getting an anime adaptation?
I mean, the problem is my brain stalled when you said book, because like me read.
No.
I mean, you know, this stuff is all audio because for a reason, right? I can't read things.
But you know of books.
Pop-up books.
Well, you know, I've seen Despicable Me. You know, I've seen books that, you know, where the guy puts his fingers in and pretends to have kittens, and I get books entirely. Books make perfect sense to me. An anime adaptation to a book or film series. Part of me wants to say, like, I don't know why, but I think it would be epic if we had an anime adaptation of Twilight, because I think Japan would just turn around and just go, nah, fuck this twinkly vampire bullshit. We're just gonna make it all gruesome and, like, you know, effectively it's the Buffy of Twilight, and, you know, people just die left, right, and center, and lots of blood and gore everywhere. Yep, that's how vampires should be.
There's two ways it could go. That or the boy love version of Twilight, I guess, which would be even sparklier, perhaps.
Reverse harem.
With even less clothes.
Speaking of less clothes, Shokugeki no Soma is a well-known seasonal anime which is beloved for its culinary artistry and lifelike depictions of food. And absolutely nothing else, you indecent creeps.
Yes.
Now, being an anime which is hugely popular at the start, how long have you, Xeno, been able to keep up with the series, and what made you finally drop it?
So, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I did watch Food Wars, which is Shingeki no Soma, and, like, it was absolutely ludicrous, the orgasmic nature of the food, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy it, and I am glad that how season 1 ended, but when season 2 came out and I tried to watch season 2, I'm like, oh man, the hype for this train Like the engine's cold. The engine's frozen over, and like I couldn't get back into it at all.
I think they've made like 5 or 6 or 7 seasons. Like I don't know. It's like
I know there's at least 5. I know there's at least 5, but like I just couldn't get back into it after the first season. But it's like your stereotypical Shonen Jump series where it's just like it just keeps going and going and going, and fucking Christ, can we stop anytime soon now?
It really doesn't help.
Going.
You're saying it doesn't reach a climax.
Yeah.
Objection! It must stop!
I'm going.
Back on topic. I know our rails are kind of all over the place. Mr. Don't Stop, It's a Xeno. What figurine do you regret buying the most?
Hold on. I need to inspect. Okay. For realsies, right? This may be a little bit of a downer of a topic, so we got to work hard to make it good, right? But I gotta say it's the Overwatch Mercy Nendroid that I bought because I thought Overwatch was gonna be good and Blizzard weren't gonna be corrupt assholes. Funny how that turned out.
Oh, I understand the pain.
Yeah, so that is my big regret. Nope.
Well, it depends on how you look at it, right? If you compare Overwatch to other games, it may not be good. But if you compare Overwatch to Overwatch 2, it's actually pretty good.
The exact same.
Well, at least Overwatch is out.
Yeah, that's a fair point. A plug to another YouTube channel, Death of a Video Game. They did Overwatch just a couple of days ago, and basically you can see the death of Overwatch. The last nail in the coffin was the fact that they announced Overwatch 2 and have still yet to release it. And like, yeah, we're not going to push any more content of the original Overwatch. We're just going to do Overwatch 2. And like, it's been over 2 years now. They still haven't released Overwatch 2. And Overwatch has had no new content. And it's just like, wow, you guys fucked that royally.
Yeah, well, I think they have bigger problems than just that.
Yeah, they do. Good series of YouTube videos.
Alright, what's an anime that had like the lowest lows compared to how awesome it was at times?
Okay. You're gonna have to help me out here. What do you consider the lowest low? Are we talking like,
Like you almost stopped watching, it got so bad or so annoying or so something?
Because if we're talking like cringy, adult humorous moments, I'd say High School Double D, right? I could not stop watching the goddamn hype of High School Double D with the boost. Yeah, but I should have checked to see if there was a High School Double D model in VR chat. Anyway, but what was the rest of my sentence?
Disappointing?
I don't know. I kind of lost it after you said the High School Double D model is in VR chat.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, so it wasn't disappointing, but at the same time it was like kind of cringe with like the level of vulgarity behind it. But it was just like the perfect train wreck as it was like, so you imagine you've got all these other harem shows. We've got like Love Hina, we've got Infinite Stratos, we've got was it
Arbiters?
Did you say fucking Arbiters? Arbiters assessments. We've got Chivalry Night, something or another. There's like loads out there, and they've somehow made such a mess. All the trains have derailed off of the track. And yet High School Double D is somehow still running on the track, just blitzing past all of those wreckages, and still fucking hype as hell and cringe at the same time.
It's like doing a wheelie in that it could derail at any second, but it's kind of awesome to watch it go.
Not just a wheelie, because I think you can only do those on motorbikes, but regardless.
I mean, no, if you're on the
on
rear,
one side, on one side of the track.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One side of the track.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, it's just pulling shit like that, and it's just like, and also you've seen Men in Black, right, where the car. Mm-hmm. In the tunnel, the car's like on the roof of the tunnel. Yeah, it's the train's doing that shit as well. It's jumped the track so it gets over all the shit and then just jumps back onto the track when the track's clear again. Yeah, that's how amazingly weird and dodgy High School Double D is with boost.
I think this metaphor has definitely
Derailed.
Derailed, yeah.
All right, so moving on from high school DD, Eno, did you know that No Game No Life is getting a season 2?
No, you better not be fucking with me, man. If you're fucking with me, I am going to come over there. I'm going to break all COVID regulations. I'm coming over there and I'm going to slap you, right? If you are lying to me, telling me... No, I'm looking this up. I'm looking this up right now, right?
All right.
If I'm going to find out right now...
Let me save you a hassle, okay? I was lying, because as far as I know,
Son of a
it's
bitch.
not in the works. But what if it is?
Oh, my
What
fucking...
would No Game No Life Season 2 have to bring for you to satisfy your hype for it?
Anything. Like, literally fucking anything. No Game No Life is one of the best animes out there. And yeah, it just will not get a season 2. And I have no fucking understanding why. There's probably like loads of statements out there saying like, no, it's not going to get a second season. The author didn't like it, or the studio didn't like the direction the manga, you know, the light novels were going. I don't fucking care, right? It is so fucking hilarious, right? It deserves... No, the world owes it a season 2, right? The world owes No Game No Life. That's how good No Game No Life is. No Game No Life.
I thought it was okay.
Fuck you! It's fucking amazing!
Well, Xeno-chan, what is going to be the next isekai world that sweeps the anime community off their feet?
Oh, fucking Christ. Rising the Shield Hero. I know that so many Anitubers just don't like it, and they're wrong, but honestly, Rising the Shield Hero, the world is so comprehensive, it's so well put together. Like, I honestly think Rising the Shield Hero is just gonna blow minds. So good! Raftalia, best girl.
Isn't she 11?
And she can still be a best girl being 11. Doesn't mean I want to sleep with her, you fucking sicko.
That's fair.
All right. What season of a show were you anticipating the most before it came out, only to be massively disappointed?
You're forcing me to remember things now. I don't want to remember.
Dig deep.
Oh my god. Hold on. Give me Nazith, edit this bit out while I actually try and work out what show it is. I gotta be honest. Season 2 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. What the fuck? Seriously. Oh my god. Like, I only watched the first half of season 2 and I was disappointed. Loz watched the second half, right?
I hear there's gazebos.
Which
It can't be that bad.
the first 2/3, if not more, is just meetings in a gazebo. And it just begs the question, perchance, did they not have enough time to animate this? And they just made meetings in a gazebo? Like, I'm scared to think of reading the light novels to find out there are literal volumes, like books and books, of That Time I Got Reincarnated at a Time, which just features this one gazebo. I'm scared. I'm scared, Merastius. I'm really scared.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you know, I have opinions about the slime show, but yeah, I would also be terrified.
All right, so Sword Art Online was a hugely popular seasonal show in the mid-2010s, which had a pretty good first half of season 1 and then a less good second half. What kind of lessons do you think other shows can take of improving their show based on how Sword Art Online Season 2 apparently learned absolutely nothing of Season 1 and just did the exact same thing again for Season 2?
And Season 3.
Yeah.
I don't know about Season 4. I never got to Season 4.
I actually never got to Season 3.
Oh my god. I think there's an important lesson to be learned, identifying a healthy pace with their series. Like, you know, I don't know. Actually, no, I'm going to back this up entirely. Don't fucking write a Gary Stu. Gary Stews are the most boring characters in the known fucking universe. Allow the Gary Stu to make a fucking mistake, and then they're no longer a Gary Stu. I cannot believe there was one scene in Season 3 where Kirito, the main Gary, right, turns around and goes, "Oh, I'm no good with kids." Sorry, no, I need to go through the scene with you properly, right? We've got Gary and Blondie, right, are two male protagonists. They are going up a flight of stairs. They hit the mezzanine floor, like the halfway floor, before they then go up to the full floor. And there are these two childlike characters, right, that are at the top of the floor, sitting on the stairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gary turns to Blondie and says, "You deal with this. I'm not good with kids." Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the two girls come down, chatting to Gary and Blondie, and stab Gary and Blondie at the same time with these paralysis daggers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They then...
As you do.
As you do. They then carry by the feet Gary and Blondie to the next boss floor of this tower. And then all of a sudden, Gary has stolen the paralysis daggers from the two girls, the two childlike characters, and slices them, and they become paralyzed. And he turns around and says, "It's a good thing I cast that..." Oh god, it's a spell that shortens the paralysis timer, right? The duration of a paralysis poison or whatever. And because I noticed the wood your hilts, sorry, your scabbards were made of, which could only be used for this specific paralysis blade.
Very keen eye for...
Wow, he's
such a
so
character.
amazing.
Fucking hate that bullshit.
I mean, to be honest, like, do you think that, you know, the board of directors of that show was kind of like, well, you know, will we still have some suspense after, obviously, in season 1, we have this guy literally stand people into submission, and now we're adding that he will just see tiny little details that no matter, even if he just comes across these characters for the first time, he will always have a spell ready to counter them. Can we still have some suspense?
I don't have has any of you watched the second season?
I watched the second season because... I don't know. Why did I watch this? Because...
You were
I watched the
naive.
second season because
You hate yourself.
Right.
I already do. But yeah.
Okay,
no,
here's
go ahead.
something really important, right? Star Wars, lightsabers, reflecting the blaster shots with a lightsaber can only work because you can physically see the blaster shot in the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I heard a facepalm then.
Well,
There might have been a partial facepalm, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Right. In season 2 of Sword Art Online, Gary decided to one-up this and perform the same feat with a lightsaber against regular velocity bullets. You know, bullets that you definitely cannot see in the air.
but he can.
Yoda and Anakin and Luke just, like, eat your heart out, because fucking Gary will just murder you all.
Xeno, it's very simple. All Garito has to do is look at where the barrels are pointing and put his sword in the way. It's so simple. Like, even a non-Gary Stu could do it.
I feel like
Would you wanna
we
test
should
this?
try this. Yeah, I feel we should test this. Right, I'll get the rifle, right? Oh, wait, no, I'm not American.
Anime Mythbusters.
Don't worry, I'm an American.
Paul, you get the... Sorry. drug camp Kohai? I don't know. You know, you get the rifle. Merastius, I'll get you a baseball bat to represent a lightsaber. See how well you can do knocking the bullets out the air.
Yeah, I'll knock it out of the park. It'll be fine.
And I'll be there with my conductor whistle playing foul. I will not
You'll
be
shoot on my
backstopped.
first whistle.
Merastius seems to be lying on the floor for some reason. I don't think this worked.
He'll be fine. We'll take him to my hospital.
Nurse, 20cc vodka. Stop.
Do you want to
All right,
sue that
we'll-
train?
Did someone get the license plate number on that hype train?
Oh my god.
Anyways, wielder of the MemoMii, how bad do you think the writing is going to be for the live-action One Piece?
There's writing for the anime One Piece? No laugh. Okay. I kind of...
If you go by the main character's thought bubbles, there's literally nothing.
Well, my understanding was that the like Shonen Jump releases a chapter of One Piece a week, and the animators have to animate that chapter for that week.
Really? I thought the anime was like behind.
No, sorry. I mean, it's like they can't like use multiple chapters because it's one episode a week, it's one chapter a week, yeah?
Oh.
So that you can't gain any ground on it. So they're just like, unless they start doing filler stuff, which I don't know if One Piece does. I've never watched One Piece, but I will say I watched the Cowboy Bebop Netflix adaptation, and I was not impressed at all. Right? All right? Especially with Ed, but you know. But apparently, over 100,000 people have petitioned Netflix to continue Cowboy Bebop. Right? I'm not quite sure which version of Cowboy Bebop they're thinking Netflix is going to continue, but I hope they realize it's not going to be the anime, right? I do not have high hopes for the One Piece adaptation. I will say, however, I will not be watching it regardless.
I think I'm legally required to, unfortunately.
No, I don't wanna. Also, I'm not going to get sponsored to do anything with Netflix, I can tell.
You could be sponsored by Hulu.
Is that a better option?
No, it's just their competitor.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What's a type of secondary character you hate to see arrive in an anime you're enjoying at the time?
A stupid one. A fucking stupid... Like, I'm talking like brain dead. Have you ever seen the series? It came out last year called Girlfriend.
I've heard of it through this little known podcast called Kenpai Cast, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of crap. I wouldn't recommend it.
Really?
But
I have high hopes of that podcast. So, like, you know, an actual anime podcast that talks about anime. I mean, it's just unheard of. But anyway, the...
Not to be confused with the good version of Kenpai Cast, but that's another story.
Anyway, but with
girlfriend,
the sheer stupidity that the main guy in that had was just otherworldly. How he thought he could get away with not only having 2 girlfriends but more.
Well, okay. Well, firstly, I think it kind of works out for him. It kind of works out for him, right? So I think they're all stupid. But also, were you enjoying it before that happened? Like, I'm talking about, like, it's a show you're enjoying.
That was
it seems
a train
cool.
wreck, right?
It seems hype.
I was watching that train wreck. I was watching it just slowly, like, you know, it wasn't derailing from the front of the train. It was derailing from the back of the train. So, like, you know, carriages were just sort of sliding off kind of thing. And, you know, some of them just popped off. Some of them fell on their side and were still being dragged along. But after a while, I was just like, no, I get it. It's a mess. I'm gonna go over here and watch something that's more entertaining. Ooh, look, Bashoka Tensei. So I never finished that, but it was like, oh, that was. I just couldn't believe how stupid the characters were. It's just like, I don't like this thing, but if I'm really sorry long enough, you'll accept my apology. Okay, I will. Sorry, what?
All right, final question. Continuing on from learning about other shows, One Punch Man was an exceptionally well-received show for its very first season, gaining widespread recognition and even a very cool fan adaptation of its intro in the style of Warframe, if you know which video I'm talking about.
No idea.
Anyway. Oh, you don't?
No.
Well, go to MDR Laws on YouTube and find out.
So that's youtube.com/MDRlaws.
I guess that's his link.
It is his link. It's youtube.com/MDRlaws. Yeah, I bullied him into putting it up.
So go check out, actually, like, I'm still not sure, but if you watching could go to youtube.com/MDRlaws and see whether it's actually a valid page and click on the subscribe button to make sure that it's an actual valid page. That would help me a lot in making sure that, you know, youtube.com/MDRlaws is an actual YouTube page. It has a really cool video of the One Punch Man opening.
Intro, yeah. But
intro.
And you have to make sure that you spell laws correctly. So that's youtube.com/MDRLOZ, right? So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, now on to the question. After that sponsor spot, how would you regard One Punch Man as a prime example of what not to do with one of the most hyped animes of its time?
So the thing with a hyped anime, I wouldn't say One Punch Man was a hyped anime. It's sort of like, it came in, and then through word of mouth, it spread, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing! You should go check it out." So people did, and it just blew up. The hype existed more in season 2, where we had season 1 as the proof of concept, the working example of what One Punch Man could be, and that sort of fell flat because, well,
it took forever for them to announce a sequel and like when it would come out.
Well,
that
it wasn't just that, but so there was a number of contributing factors. One, it wasn't animated by Madhouse, right? So Madhouse do a phenomenal job at presenting translating the panels of the manga into the cells on the animation, so they really put a lot of effort into the cinematography of the whole situation, like storyboarding it, the whole shebang. So that was their first mistake. The second mistake in season 2 was cutting out the majority of Saitama's events during the section that they did give, right? Which was to do with this tournament where, so Saitama is like frustrated because he's fed up, because I have read the manga, he's fed up that he keeps on knocking out everyone. So he wants to learn self-restraint through martial arts. And he thinks to himself, well, what's the best way I can learn martial arts? I will enter this tournament where this friend of mine who is a martial artist can't enter it. I'll enter it in his stead. And I will learn martial arts from watching my opponents. And so he learns to wiggle his butt and his hips and things, and wiggle his legs and things in order to reduce the impact of his blows, so he can make the fights last longer. They chopped all of that out of the second season, right? And then the third thing that they did wrong was giving Saitama a weird boob shine on his bald head.
Yeah. Well, at least they did show whenever he got into a fight, they did show his, the result of it. Remember that, one big dude that actually, absolutely wrecked that tournament? And then they showed that he actually went into that fight and killed... Oh, wait, no, they did that off screen. Oh, remember that one punch that he, threw at, the main villain of that season? And, oh, wait, we didn't actually get to see that punch. It was more like a camera panning. Did we even see some of his action, or was he just...
But that happens in the manga panel for panel, right? So it's exactly the same. The thing is, Saitama fights 5 people in that tournament, and they chopped it all out, all of it. Anyway,
so sad.
Anyway, don't do that. It's bad.
All right. After the unbelievable 2 years that everyone has had in every aspect of life in 2020 and 2021, it seems like there's nothing 2022 could do to disappoint us more. But we won't know until we try. And actually, maybe we shouldn't try. Can we cancel 2022? Skip a year? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No! Because we got Rising of the Shield Heroes.